If you are a criminal defendant, it is better to be a woman than a man. For the same crime and with a similar criminal history, men in the United States are imprisoned much more frequently and for much longer sentences. And this is one gender gap that we hear very little about. Women are significantly more likely than men to avoid charges, to avoid convictions completely. And they are twice as likely to avoid incarceration if convicted. Now, on average, men receive about 63% longer sentences than women arrested for the same crime.
Hi, guys.
This teacher seemed to have it all. Respected by her peers, beloved by students.
Welcome to week 2 of our online learning.
But now, Marka Bodine has just pleaded guilty to sexually abusing a 13-year-old student. The 32-year-old teacher preyed on the student for 3 years, sending him explicit photos, videos, and texts. Cops say she and the boy even had sex in her classroom and her car. Now there's controversy over what some see as an incredibly light sentence. Prosecutors asked for a prison term of as much as 40 years, but on sentencing day this week, all the teacher got was 60 days.
To find out that she was only given 60 days, it's unbelievable. And I think our community deserves answers for why that sentence was decided.
Bodine's victim and his mother were said to be very upset with the outcome. 2 questions are being raised. Did Bodine get so little time because she is attractive and because she's a woman?
Do you think she was given such a light sentence because she is a woman?
I really have no idea.
No. I think it's a case-by-case basis. I think that there's absolutely the fact that a 25-year-old teacher, okay, you're just calling her a teacher, she's 25.
So what? She's still a teacher. She still has the same power over her students as a 50-year-old.
But you've got a 16-year-old, in this case, it's a lesbian relationship. You have a 16-year-old female with a 25-year-old female teacher, and they're having a 1-year relationship.
Okay,
she goes
Sarah,
over there multiple times.
Let me propose a similar power imbalance, a similar power construct to a relationship, and see how this one fits for you. 25-year-old resident and a 16-year-old high school student, a medical resident and a 16-year-old high school student. That's cool? The patient comes in, has a pelvic exam, and has sex right there in the room where the doctor's doing the exam. Is that
That's
cool?
probably less cool.
Why? Why is that not cool? Why is that?
They do it for a year.
Yeah, they go out forever. He loves her. He loves her. It's a year relationship after.
I think female teachers who have sex with whatever gender students should be treated just as harshly as the male teachers. We always hear this hot for teacher thing. This is so damaging. I've represented a lot of sexual abuse survivors, male and female, and it's frankly even more damaging for the male victims sometimes because they're very confused. Their friends are high-fiving them at the time. Later in life, they realize, I didn't consent. There was this power relationship.
What do you feel about this debate? Because obviously, as we move more and more, quite rightly, in my opinion, to full gender equality in all things, there will be some men watching this going, well, why should it be one rule for women and one rule for men if they do the same offence?
I mean, I got sent to prison. I had no previous convictions. I was not known to the justice system in any shape or form. I actually was studying to be a childminder and had been inspected. My house had been inspected. So I had my plan, I guess, my life kind of figured out at that point. And that situation happening, it wasn't a plan that I had. I didn't go out on my way to...
But a lot of men find themselves in that position too, where they get into a fight, it's a moment of madness, and they end up going to prison as well. My point is not that you deserved or didn't deserve that sentence. It's whether a woman and a man should be treated differently for the same offence.
And I still believe that women, again, like Sean said, but there's more to a woman going to prison.
Former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader Molly Shattuck is facing rape charges, unlawful sexual contact, and providing alcohol to a minor for allegedly having sex with a 15-year-old boy at a beach house in Delaware Labor Day weekend. Shattuck is recently divorced and well known in some circles, having published a book entitled Vibrant Living, promoting a healthy lifestyle. Allegedly, she contacted her victim through her own son. She has pleaded not guilty.
She's just a classic example. She is no different than an abusing priest, an abusing rabbi, or a parent.
So are more women committing sexual crimes with minors? Or are we just hearing about it more? It could boil down to more young male victims gaining courage to speak out.
There was a time when everybody just pretended, oh, this isn't really a problem.
But there is a problem. Experts say a profile of these women may show they are lonely, want to control someone, and want a lot of attention. But sexual relations between a minor and an adult woman is a serious crime.
There was a time when boys would have been told, they were lucky that they got to be with an older woman.
But do beautiful female sexual offenders get a better deal than their male counterparts? Many believe that's the case. LaFave's attorneys seem to sum it up best.
To place an attractive young woman in that kind of hellhole is like putting a piece of raw meat in with the lions.
There's a great deal of controversy about this. In fact, when I brought up the issue that women could sexually abuse children, I was vilified. I was cast out of the sisterhood. I was no longer a good feminist because sexual abuse had to be under the guise of male power. And if I had a significant number of women who were sexually abusing children and I knew about these women, then that messed up the male power thing. And surely if women were going to abuse children, then they had to be doing it under the thumb of a man. A man had to be telling them to do it. So there are female abusers. They haven't been recognized. They've been able to disguise their abuse, I think, more cleverly than men have. And society doesn't want to believe that there are female abusers. It's easier to think it's a nasty man.
After Brittany Zamora got the lowest possible sentence, 20 years behind bars, her lawyer went on the attack.
Team 12's William Pitts was there when Zamora's attorney called a press conference after court.
In court, Brittany Zamora cried, lots of tears.
So we are here today, and Brittany knows that what she did was wrong. She does know, and she does accept it.
Her mother claiming Brittany was sorry.
Yes, Brittany is remorseful. Is she a monster? Or are the people, their followers, and the media?
Brittany is not a predator. And this was not between a young child and Brittany. This was a teenager. The teenager had boundary issues and was obsessed with Brittany. The teenage boy was very aggressive.
This coming weeks after Zamora pleaded guilty, an hour after she begged for mercy during sentencing. Zamora's lawyer then said she would take no questions.
Are you guys really blaming a 13-year-old boy as a victim in this case?
That's not what I said.
Are you honestly saying that Brittany was the victim? You just gonna read that and walk away?
It's interesting about us as women because we're quite willing to accept that we are a superior breed and that we do everything right, but quite unwilling to accept that we could do anything quite as horrible as this. So it's really not us.